Hello everyone, I am the Negative Magikarp, and this is going to be just the second in the series of So You Bought a League Battle Deck. So this is the Shadow Rider Calyrex League Battle Deck. For those of you who may have purchased it and either don't think it works well, or just aren't used to the lines of play, that's what this video is for. We're going to go through, kind of explain what this deck does, and play a few games to give you some examples. So, the deck runs off of Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. Of the two, of the Ice Rider and of the Shadow Rider decks, I would say this one is the more complicated to run. Simply because there are more Pokemon inside of it. Cresselia, Pumpkaboo, Galarian Articuno, as opposed to the other deck which just had an Inteleon line, Evolution line, and the Ice Rider. So, this runs off of the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. Max Geist, this deck does 30 more damage for each Psychic Energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So this means, once you power this up with 3 Psychic Energies, it does 100 damage. For each other Psychic Energy attached to all of your other Pokemon, it adds 30 more damage. Now, if we were only allowed to attach 1 energy per turn, this would not be great. However, this comes with a built-in energy acceleration and card draw. Once during your turn, you may attach a Psychic Energy card from your hand to one of your bench Psychic Pokemon. If you attach energy to a Pokemon in this way, draw 2 cards. This means, instead of 1 energy per turn, when we have 1 of these, that's 2 energy per turn. If we have 2 of them, that's 3 energy per turn. Now, that isn't as fast as being able to hit for 250 damage by turn 2, like the Ice Rider deck it can. But, if you jump through the right hoops and you get lucky enough, that's very much a possibility. So, how do we get there quickly? So, Cresselia has an attack, search your deck for a Psychic Energy card and attach it to one of your Pokemon. And if you go second, and it's your first turn, instead search for 3, and attach them to one of your Pokemon. Then shuffle your deck. If we go second, this is the best thing to have in the active spot because we can attack with this and accelerate 3 energies out very, very quickly. If we do not, then we can still hope that we get the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, a couple of them, so we can start taking advantage of the Underworld door. Now this has a retreat cost of 2. If this is in the active spot, we can't attach to it using the Underworld door. This specifically says to one of our bench Psychic Pokemon. So we need a way to move this from the active to the bench, or from the bench to the active, in order to make it work. So that's why there are 2 copies of Switch in the deck. There are 2 copies of Air Balloon. There are 2 copies of Great Ball, which I don't agree with. They could have put Ultra Balls in this, which would have been much, much better. But as it stands, this is not terrible. So we're going to run a few games with this and just kind of break down the lines of play. We're going to be constantly asking ourselves the question, what do we need and how do we get it? Trying to stay ahead of our opponent in tempo, and trying to get our board state online while also trying to disrupt his. So, going second is not bad in this deck, so losing a coin flip, not terrible. So long as we get a Cresselia. If we start with a Cresselia, then we're absolutely fine. Our opponent had no basic Pokemon, so we get to mulligan. Or, so we get the extra card draw, at least 1. Now this is a great start for us. 3 mulligans, so we get to draw 3 cards. I should have checked what our opponent was playing, but I'm alright with what I have here. So we want to draw those extra 3 cards. It's always good to see more cards from your deck. Because of this, we now get more Pokemon. We now can find the Shadow Rider Calyrex. We can find 2 of them. We can find the VMAX. And maybe with the Great Ball, we could find another VMAX. But right now, our opponent is looking to discard cards to turn the Zacian on as fast as possible. They discard a Crushing Hammer. Crushing Hammer is very good against our deck. If we can't get the energies in on time, then Crushing Hammer is definitely going to mess with us. But as it stands, if our opponent just uses Intrepid Sword and don't attach from their hand, that's their own. They get 1 energy. That's kind of the downside to Zacian. But they don't get any energy. They take all those cards to their hand. That's very good for us. So we're going to Quick Ball away the Professor's Research, because having 2 doesn't really make sense, to find the Shadow Rider Calyrex V. We're going to play it. And we are going to... I don't know what I would discard. There's nothing in this hand that I feel like I want to discard. But since I can play the Research, I want to save that for next turn. Because right now, I'll be able to get this Calyrex VMAX up, switch. I like the cards in my hand for next turn, so I have to use the Great Ball now, and I find an Articuno. But I also find another VMAX. So I'm going to grab the VMAX. I have 2 VMAXs, so I don't need this Evolution Incense anymore. I can Quick Ball that away for another Calyrex V, so I can evolve these 2 next turn. If I use Crescent Glow, I search my deck for 3 energy cards and attach them to my one of my Pokemon. And now this does 100 damage, 130 damage. If I can get more energy cards, this is actually working exactly how the deck is supposed to. If I'm able to get more energy cards from the Professor's Research, then I should be able to have enough damage just to knock out this Zacian. I'm okay with that because I still have the switch. And so they're trying to stall me, but the switch is in here just for my own, just in case I were to start the game in this configuration. This just happens to be useful that he pulled this card up. So we find a Training Court. There's no psychic energies in the discard pile, at least not yet. He has no energies in the discard pile, so I feel like I can use this and be okay. If I evolve this one, and evolve this one, I can now use my switch, so I don't discard it. This one is powered up, has 3 energies on, and now I can hopefully grab a couple energies off of this, and I get a hand full of energy cards, because Fog Crystal finds me energy. I'm going to use Fog Crystal actually to find the Galarian Articuno. This is what the Galarian Articuno is for. Oh, okay. The Galarian Articuno, when you play it, you get to then attach 2 psychic energy cards from your hand onto it, accelerating 2 more, doing an extra 60 damage for the Calyrex. But that was a very good showing. That was exactly what the deck was supposed to do. Now with that Great Ball, we did get lucky. The Great Ball found us the Calyrex VMAX. This is also very good, but we're going to hold this because this has an ability that says when I play this Pokemon from my hand onto my bench during my turn. That's not going to work now, so I'm not going to use it. I'm going to wait. And it looks like our opponent is playing Reggie. If he's playing a Reggie deck, then I wonder how fast I can accelerate this. What I like, though, is that when I attack this turn, if I were to attack with this, Shadow Mist means they can't play special energy cards or stadiums from their hand. Capture energy. They already have a stadium, they're already playing the special energies, so that ship looks like has sailed. I think my plan is to try to get my setup from the last game. Find the find the Cresselia, put that in the active spot, and kind of just do the exact same thing. Stormy Mountain doesn't do anything for me, but it's green because it lets me search through my deck. He doesn't know that I don't have any electric or dragon Pokemon, but this lets us search to see what we have. So we have 3 Cresselia. We have all of our switch cards. 1 air balloon is in our hand, so we have all of our switch cards. And so what I'm going to do is, we have no way really actually to get the VMAX. So I'm going to air balloon this. Fog Crystal to find a Cresselia. Play the Cresselia. Retreat the Calyrex because I need to attack with this. I need that Crescent Glow. So I'm going to play Galarian Articuno. This ability lets me attach 2 Psychic Energies from my hand onto Galarian Articuno. And if I use Crescent Glow, I get to attach 3 energies onto one of my Pokemon. So now I'm in okay shape. If I do happen to draw an energy next turn, Photon Laser can do 120 damage. It's not enough to knock out this, or any of these. So this is probably not the thing that I want to use. Shadow Rider Calyrex V is still probably the best Pokemon to be attacking right now. Because with this attack, choose 2 of your opponent's Pokemon, put 5 damage counters on each of them. If I can at least do that, that's at least something. If I can find the VMAX, then that's even better. He plays another Capture Energy. And he finds himself a Regirock. He plays Professor's Research to draw 7 cards. And if he found his Regice, or a way to get it, he found it, he can now attack with this. Actually, he can't. He doesn't have 2 electric Pokemon, 2 electric energy on this Pokemon. And Galarian Articuno has 120 health. This one hits for 120. If he had 2 electric energies in the discard pile, Regigigas would allow him to take them out, attach them, and he'd be able to attack. Thankfully, though, that doesn't seem to be the case. That's sort of the problem with this deck, is the setup needs to be very specific. There's an energy that will be electric. So if you could discard maybe 1 more. Or does he just use the electromagnetic sonar? Electromagnetic sonar would give him the Professor's Research, which is probably very good. I wonder what his plan is, because what do you need and how do you get it? That is the primary question to be asking yourself constantly. For example, right now, what do I need? Calyrex VMAX. How do I get it? I don't have a way to get it. I simply don't have a way to get it. And at the moment, see, so Quick Ball would get me another basic Pokemon. That basic Pokemon, there's nothing in here that will really help me. And I can search the deck with this, so we can actually see. The only basic Pokemon in here, besides the Shadow Rider, the Cresselia, the Pumpkaboo, those are the only basic Pokemon, and the Articuno. The Pumpkaboo might help. But the problem is, this has already done its job. So what I'm going to do is retreat this. Attach an energy card. to the Cresselia. And then just use Astral Barrage. Start putting 5 damage counters on things. And hopefully we draw into the cards into the cards that we need. So our friend here, he did not put the research. Did he not put the research back into his hand? He used this electromagnetic sonar, but I didn't remember what he got. So he attaches. He discards energies. I'm guessing energies. Yes. So there he goes. He gets the Aurora energy in the discard pile. He can attach it. So at this rate, he can attack and knock out one of my Pokemon. Then I attack and do more damage to this. He knocks out another one of mine. And we're kind of in this war of attrition. Or rather, he'll take 2 prize cards, I'll take 2 prize cards, and there's not a lot that we can do about all of this. That actually is one of the worst things he could have done to us, because even if we get the Calyrex, it means this will do nothing. I mean, it means the ability will do nothing. So he gets to use Targeting Bolt, and I wonder which one he's going to target. Because to be honest, neither one is particularly good at the moment. They've done their jobs. We get the research. That's very, very good. So we're going to go for it. We find the Fog Crystal. We did not find the Calyrex VMAX, but the Fog Crystal gets us the Pumpkaboo. And Pumpkaboo is the only reason Pumpkaboo is in here, is to get rid of this card. This card turns off our deck in a lot of different ways. We need the energy acceleration, we need the card draw. This turns both of those off. And so I think what we should do is Fog Crystal for the Pumpkaboo next turn. Get rid of the Path to the Peak. Use Professor's Research. Wait, actually, we might need those switches, so we'll use the Marnie to hopefully get a Calyrex off the top of the deck. A VMAX Calyrex. But at this rate, he is ahead by 1 prize. But by this time next turn, we'll be tied. That was actually very good. He uses the scoop up. He used the scoop up net. But our friend has an interesting problem. Does he target this or target this? I would say that was probably the right choice. But we're going to do what we just said we were going to do. Oh, we got the VMAX, actually. So we are going to first find the Pumpkaboo, which gets rid of the Path to the Peak. We play the Shadow Rider. And we Marnie. So our opponent has 6 cards. Let's see, we are looking at... We can't get another Shadow Rider, but we can still draw cards. Underworld Door will attach a Psychic Energy to this Shadow Rider. We find the other VMAX. What do we need and how do we get it constantly? Now I need more energies, and this finds me energy. I need more energy because I need to draw more cards. By drawing more cards, we can try to make this a little more consistent. So if we attack now, we only take one prize card. But that's okay. Because I don't think, now that we've achieved our board state, I don't think he has enough time to keep doing his. Because we have a boss's orders, we can hit this Regigigas, and he needs the Regigigas to make his whole deck work. I'm willing to bet why he scooped that up is because he didn't have another one, and it might be in the prize cards. This might not have been the best move, because this attack does 50 less damage for each colorless in my opponent's active retreat cost. So this is only going to do 120 damage, plus 30 is 150. He played the Ordinary Rod, which was his way to get things back. Plays the Research. He's not going to take a prize card with this, and I think if I take out the Regigigas, I might stall him really well. The entire purpose of his deck is to play cards that let him just go through his deck and discard as much of it as possible, because he needs special energies in his discard pile in order to make this whole thing work. So he hits me for 150 right now. And I boss this up. Oh, 250. This attack does 50 less damage. Oh, because I have the air balloon. Whoops. That was my mistake. So we're going to Evolution Incense and find the last VMAX. The last VMAX is in the prize cards. So what I want to do is boss's orders this up in order to stop him from doing those things. However, he's just going to hit this Pokemon again. So I think retreating this, using Underworld Door to draw more cards, and then boss's orders this up to make it so he can't knock out my Pokemon next turn. If he has access to his other Regigigas, then I've sort of lost right now, because I need another boss's orders, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get it. If I get lucky enough to draw it, very good. But right now, if he doesn't have another Regigigas, we might have just won. Because right now we're tied. Plays a Capture Energy, so he can find the Regigigas if it's in the deck. It's not in the deck, so it's in the prize cards. If it's in the prize cards and he doesn't have a way to get it, for example, what do I need and how do I get it? The card he would need is a Hisuian Heavy Ball, which lets him find a basic Pokemon from his prize cards and switch the Heavy Ball for it. But if he's not running any of them, then this might be okay. Quick Ball, Research, Switch, none of this really does anything for me. So if I just hit your Pokemon to knock it out, I get a prize card. Hopefully that prize card is the other VMAX. It is not. He needs to knock out 2 of my Pokemon one VMAX and the Pumpkaboo in order to win. I need to knock out 3 of his Pokemon in order to win. Sorry about that. Gotta pause in the commentary. So he used scoop up nets in order to get his Regidrago back up, and then he played it again. We have the boss's orders though, which is exactly what we need. This Regilucky is the most dangerous thing. So if we just pull that up and hit it again and hit this one, we might have just got lucky that our opponent's only other Regigigas. Oh, they got the Regigigas back. But they have 2 Regidrago on the field now, which means it kind of doesn't matter. In order for Regigigas to work, they need to have 1 of every Regi. And having 2 of these Regi... Oh, there's the scoop up net. That works. Ooh, Roxanne. Roxanne's very good in this situation. If your opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards remaining, each player shuffles their hand into their deck. They draw 6, I draw 2. That's very good. They have Registeel. They have the Regigigas. Do they have the Regilucky? They do not. Their turn ends. And I win the game. Purely by chance. I don't think they're playing any basic energy cards. So Training Court helps only me. We use the Training Court. We use the Underworld. Oh, whoops. I was going to use... That was not great. That's okay. We still win. Even if he knocks out one of my he has to knock out 2 of these both of these in one shot in order to win. Oh, he had a Hisuian Heavy Ball the entire time in the deck. I thought he just didn't have one. So he finds it. There he is. Okay. There's the Regilucky. 120 damage to 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon. If he can retreat this thing, he can win right now. If he has a scoop up net... Oh wait. Okay. Somehow we've stalled this game out enough to where we have won. We're just gonna Max Geist to knock it out, take our last prize card, and that's the end of it. And I guess that's how this deck works. The whole point is to just take advantage of getting energies out as fast as possible. Be a little tricky with taking advantage of the fact that you have very large Pokemon, and just playing as concisely as possible. Now y'all have a good day, and good games to y'all. I'll see you later.